The sixth installment begins in 1968, where we meet a young woman named Iris and her boyfriend Paul. They're driving toward a surprise destination, Iris blindfolded and smiling. When they finally arrive, Paul removes the blindfold, revealing a towering new skyscraper called Skyview. It's 150 meters tall, just completed in 5 months, and tonight is its grand opening. Johnny Cash's Ring of Fire plays faintly in the background, eerily appropriate. As they approach the entrance, Iris notices a young boy being scolded for stealing coins from the fountain. Inside, she and Paul take a photo together and head toward the elevator. It's packed, but Paul insists they squeeze in. At the top, they reach an exclusive restaurant built with reinforced glass floors, crystal chandeliers, and walls that make it feel like they're floating. But things quickly turn awkward. Paul's name isn't on the reservation list. They're allowed to stay, but won't be served. Trying to cheer him up, Iris pulls a rose from a vase and pins it to his suit, accidentally pricking her finger. A bad omen, no doubt. Then we learn she's afraid of heights. Just getting close to the windows makes her dizzy, and she rushes to the bathroom. At that exact moment, one of the chandelier crystals drops, cracking the glass floor. In the restroom, a singer from the event finds Iris and gently asks if she's pregnant. Iris denies it at first, but then admits she's 2 months along. She hasn't told Paul yet. The woman reassures her. If he loves her, he'll be happy. Encouraged, Iris returns to Paul, and on the terrace, he proposes. She says yes, then tells him about the baby. He's thrilled. They celebrate by dancing together. Meanwhile, the boy from earlier is still causing trouble, tossing coins off the ledge. One of them falls through a vent, lands in the building's fan system, and hits a gas valve. Gas begins leaking into the ducts. Back inside, the party is in full swing. The crack in the glass floor continues spreading under the weight of the dancers. The music reaches its climax, and suddenly, the entire floor gives way. Dozens of people fall to their deaths, many slamming into support beams on the way down. Paul manages to grab a piece of glass, but can't hold on. He falls. Chaos erupts. One person trips into a flaming pan, catches fire, and while running, sets off the gas-filled duct, triggering a massive explosion. People are now burning and falling. A group runs for the stairs, but part of the structure collapses. The boy survives and makes it to the ground floor. Others rush to the elevator. In the panic, an older man shoves Iris aside, but gets stuck in the elevator door. The pulley breaks. On the top floor, it splits like the Titanic. A woman slams against the window and nearly survives, until the coin from earlier lands on a wobbling piano. It tips over, smashes into her, and takes the remaining structure with it. Then, sweet karma. The mischievous boy, finally out of the building, smirks as if he beat the odds. A falling piano lands directly on him. Justice. Iris, in total shock, hears a child calling for help. It's the singer's son. They try to escape together, but the building collapses. A metal bar impales Iris through the face. Suddenly, we cut to the present day. A young woman named Stephanie wakes up in class, startled. Everything we just witnessed was a nightmare. Again, she wakes once more, this time in her room, drenched in sweat. For months, she's been dreaming of her grandmother, Iris. The problem is, she's never even met her. Later, Stephanie visits her father, asking for a box of old family things. He coldly tells her he threw it out years ago when her mother left them. Her younger brother, Charlie, barely acknowledges her. He says he's heading to their cousin's house, so she offers to drive him. As they leave, her father warns her, never mention Iris to that side of the family. At the cousin's house, Stephanie meets her Uncle Howard, Aunt Brenda, and cousins Julia, Eric, and Bobby. She asks about Iris. Howard tries to shut her down, but eventually explains, after Paul's death, Iris lost her mind. She claimed death was coming for them all. The state took her away, and no one saw her again. Years later, she began sending terrifying letters and drawings about death to protect the grandchildren. Howard urges her to stay far away from Iris. But Brenda, silently sympathetic, tells Stephanie where to find an old letter with Iris's address. Stephanie finds a photo of her grandparents at the tower, and on the back, an address. She visits. The house looks more like a bunker than a home. When she rings the bell, a gruff voice tells her to leave. But when she says she's her granddaughter, the gate opens. Iris, now frail and aged, welcomes her. She notes Stephanie looks like her mother. Stephanie says she was abandoned at 10. Iris asks if she's been dreaming. Stephanie nods. Iris says it's not a dream, it's a premonition. The same one she had in 1968, the day she saved everyone. She recounts how she took the coin from the boy, turned off the stove, and warned the dancers. The event was shut down, but death didn't stop. It came for everyone afterward. One by one they died, including Paul. She escaped for decades, but now cancer has come for her. As Iris reaches for a book, a lamp tilts and focuses light onto wood, causing a small fire. Iris calmly fixes it. Not today, she smirks. Then she warns Stephanie. She's marked too. She begs her to stay, to read her book full of years of research on death's patterns and symbols. Stephanie, overwhelmed, refuses. She apologizes and leaves. With no choice, Iris does something she hasn't done in years. She steps outside. She hands the book to her granddaughter and says, "You'll have to see to believe." She takes a step back. Days later, Iris's funeral is held. Stephanie, still shaken, repeats Iris's final words to her father and uncle. "Death is coming for our family." That's when Darlene, Stephanie's estranged mother, shows up. Stephanie storms off. The next day, the family is having a barbecue. A glass breaks, and a shard lands in the ice bucket. Nobody notices. Darlene arrives with peanut cookies, forgetting Bobby's peanut allergy. Meanwhile, Stephanie senses something is wrong and races over. Back at the house, Charlie and Bobby get Howard on a trampoline. It's falling apart, and there's a rake under it. Darlene spots it and moves it just in time. But the danger's not over. Brenda knocks over a beer that hits a power button, inflating a nearby air hose. Stephanie arrives just as Howard steps on the glass shard hidden in the ice. It pierces his foot. He falls. Hard. The next day, he's dead. Stephanie now knows. This is real. She checks her grandmother's book. The deaths are in order. Howard first. Then his kids. Eric, Julia, and Bobby. Then Darlene. Then her. Then Charlie. No one believes her. That night, Eric cleans his tattoo shop and spills disinfectant. A chain falls from the ceiling and hooks to his nose ring, yanking him toward a fan. He escapes, but a spark ignites the chemicals. Fire spreads. The next day, Stephanie and Charlie check on him. He's alive. He put the fire out. He laughs off Stephanie's warning. Julia goes jogging. A child accidentally hits her with a ball. She falls into a dumpster. A garbage truck picks it up. No one stops it in time. The compactor crushes her. At her funeral, the family starts believing Stephanie. But why Julia and not Eric? Brenda confesses, Eric isn't Howard's son. He's from another man. So Bobby is next. Panicked, he begs for help. Stephanie reads Iris's letters about a man named JB, someone who beat death. They track him down. It's none other than the coroner William Bloodworth. He tells them there are two ways to beat death. Kill someone and take their time. Or die and be revived. He references Kimberly from Final Destination 2. They come up with a plan. Bobby, who is allergic to peanuts, will eat one, then be revived. They do it in a hospital. Eric cracks the candy machine, grabs a peanut butter cookie, and gives it to Bobby in a room with an MRI machine. As Bobby eats, Eric leaves to grab a wheelchair. The door slams, dropping a file onto a computer, activating the MRI. Everything metal starts flying. Rings, piercings, everything. The magnet pulls Eric into the machine. A wheelchair follows. Eric is crushed. Bobby manages to stab himself with epinephrine and survives. A nurse enters, only to witness a spring from the candy machine shoot out and impale Bobby through the skull. Meanwhile, an old woman at the hospital finds the coin from Stephanie's book. Now only Darlene, Stephanie, and Charlie remain. Darlene decides to isolate herself in Iris's cabin, hoping that by not dying, she can protect her kids. They arrive. The gate won't open. Stephanie crashes through it, igniting dry leaves on the roof. The cabin explodes. The car crashes into a lake. Stephanie is trapped. Darlene saves Charlie, sends him to save his sister, then is crushed by a falling lamppost. Charlie revives Stephanie just in time. Later, at his graduation, Stephanie pins a rose to Charlie's suit. She pricks her finger. She knows what that means. As they chat with another parent, he mentions Charlie brought her back from the dead. But the doctor explains she never actually died. She was just unconscious. The chain was never broken. Across town, the woman who found the coin drops it. It rolls between train tracks. A train derails. It barrels through the city, heading straight for Charlie and Stephanie. They run. They survive. But then, a logging truck crashes into the train. Logs fly. They're crushed. And that's how the story ends.